Thanks for staying tuned to your station, the African Independent Television, and welcome to your program. Only on this program, Security Watch Africa will bring you that information you need to keep your life safe and secured. Every week, we'll go every length to bring that information to you. Welcome to the program today. My name still remains Patrick Abampo. Yes, I must tell you that the past 1 week has been quite a great number of success for the security forces and for the country Nigeria, because the security sector have really indeed upped their game and taking off these criminals from our streets. So many arrests have been done, so many terrorists and bandits have been neutralized in the northeast and the northwest, southeast and southwest and south-south, north central. And I must say that it's kudos to the security forces, but we must sustain this. We should not allow these people to regroup again and come to cause mayhem to this society. Nigerians deserve peace and security, and that is sacrosanct, because that is the cardinal responsibility of any responsible government to provide security for the citizens. Welcome to the program. Yes, today we'll be taking you to Alamala Barracks in Ogun State, where the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, met with officers and soldiers of the 35 Artillery Brigade there in Alamara in Ogun State. Sit back as we bring you his address to the soldiers.
Army is being transformed, and this transformation process has the backing of the President, Commander-in-Chief, and the government of the day. The renovation that you see ongoing in your barracks is because the government has provided the fund to carry that out. The issue of group life assurance that has been a nightmare, and we had a backlog of over 6,400 families between 2012 and 2022 is being addressed as I speak to you currently. We have so many other issues that are being addressed. If you speak with your colleagues who are living in Bauchi, Gombe, Ilela, Makurdi, or any other barracks, they will tell you that this kind of renovations that are ongoing here, they are experiencing similar things. So perhaps we have not reached that corner of the barracks where you live. Don't fret. It may take a little while, but definitely we'll get there. Is that clear? Yes, so the government has your interest at heart, and it's a wise saying that has it that to whom much is given, much is expected. So I want to encourage you this afternoon that you redouble your effort, that you show gratitude for the great investment of taxpayers' money to provide a befitting, working, and living environment for you. Whatever tax you are giving, despite the obvious challenges, please put in your very best. Is that clear? Yes, and I can assure you that when issues come up, they will receive the prompt attention of the Army headquarters. At this point, I will pause to take questions from you. Perhaps you have been told before my arrival that you must not ask questions. Please just banish such idea. If you have a personal issue or you have anything that you want to draw my attention to, feel free to ask questions. I will start from the guard to the right. Question. Ask questions now. I went to one unit in Nasarawa State, and one soldier had not received salary for over 12 months, but he asked questions, and his issue was addressed right there on the parade ground. So ask questions. The right guard. Okay, the center. left supernumerary, including the band. Do you have questions? Okay.
Welcome back. Yeah, there was a question actually. One soldier asked a very important question that will bring to you the question and the response next episode of this program. Yes, it's very, very interesting because when a leader goes down to the people that he's leading and give them the opportunity to express themselves, that you always get the best from the people. No wonder officers and soldiers across the Federation are ready to do their work diligently. Kudos to the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja. Yes, we'll take you to the Nigerian Air Force. Yes, it's been celebration galore for the Nigerian Air Force as they celebrate their 60th anniversary. Even right now, as we speak, in Kaduna State, there is an air show that is taking place over there, and I tell you, it's a beautiful and wonderful scene to behold. Sit back as we bring you this report of what happened in the last 1 week by Elizabeth Tanko.
Since its establishment in 1964, the Nigerian Air Force (NAF) has continuously strived to fulfill its mandate of maintaining Nigeria's territorial integrity and securing its borders from violation on land, sea, and air, and suppressing insurrection and acting in aid to civil authority to restore order when called upon by the President. 6 decades after, the Nigerian Air Force leadership, led by Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has rolled out the drums to celebrate the impactful contributions of the Nigerian Air Force in the political, economic, and social stability of Nigeria. The 8-day-long celebration is filled with lots of activities ranging from Thanksgiving, Islamic and Christian prayers in all NAF units nationwide, humanitarian outreaches carried out by the Nigerian Air Force Wives Association (NAFOA), led by the wife of the Chief of the Air Staff, Mrs. Rekia Abubakar. On Monday, 20th May 2024, witnessed project commissioning galore in Abuja. As the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Abubakar commissioned one project after another.
We have commissioned today are particularly dear to my heart. This is because Nigerian Air Force over some years now has faced serious accommodation challenges consequent on our recent expansion in force structure. So to align with my command philosophy, which is to transform the Nigerian Air Force into an agile and resilient force that effectively meets the air power demands of national security in all operational environments, I made a commitment to offset as much of the inherited housing deficit as possible to ensure that our personnel are adequately motivated. And this commitment includes provision of good medical care and contemporary sporting facilities for personnel and their families. By the grace of God Almighty and the leadership of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Nigerian Air Force, under my leadership, has made significant infrastructural changes, as you have witnessed.
To acquaint the media and the general public of the Nigerian Air Force contributions to Nigeria's stability, the Chief of the Air Staff had interaction with selected media executives at the Nigerian Air Force headquarters in Abuja. One after another, media personalities throw in their question, with Air Marshal Abubakar providing answers.
How sincere are some of these suppliers you are working with? How compatible, how possible are you using these aircrafts? Because it's one thing to acquire and the other thing is the usage. We know that some of these things are security information that might not be public for some reasons, but are these aircrafts well utilized effectively as you are restocking your platform? Then secondly, is on the command handle. So I don't know, today coincidentally, 2 years ago, you lost some of your officers with former chief of army staff in an aircraft in Kaduna. How does the Air Force react to such incidents?
So usually, and especially from the countries where we're procuring from, so for example from the United States of America, probably by virtue of their own foreign policy, they look at you, they look at your place, and look at your capability and what's your history. They look at a lot of gamut of issues before they give you a certain kind of capability. So for example, some allies, are different. What capability, let's say, the United States will give, even in terms of, let's say, this same asset, the Super Tucano, the capability that, assuming the United Kingdom is operating the Super Tucano, the capability the Americans will give to the United Kingdom is likely not to be the same with, what capability with the same asset that they will give Nigeria. So that is fair, So you may not get the complete gamut of what the airplane is capable of doing, but you get what is adequate. The federal government has an insurance policy. Well, there is a whole lot of packages, that are accruable to personnel or their families of deceased personnel, benefits that personnel who die, in active service. And of course, that's a typical example of dying in active service. So for example, the family is taking care of the children, school fees and education generally is taken care of up till when they finish university. So there are a lot of, benefits that accrue to families of deceased personnel. But the one that you probably want to hear about is the insurance policy. Now, there is an insurance policy that is provided for by the federal government, for personnel that die in active service, and that is handled at the Ministry of Defense level. So for the Air Force, for air crew alone, because of the inherent danger in the nature of air crew duties, the Air Force decided to also come up with another life insurance policy for air crew specifically.
Also built into the 60th anniversary celebration was the Third African Air Forces Forum, which had many participations from over 200 countries and organizations. At the opening ceremony, the special guest of honor, who was represented by the Minister of Defense, Dr. Mohammed Abubakar Badaru, praised the Nigerian Air Force for their contributions to the development of Nigeria.
I would like to congratulate the Nigerian Air Force and commend the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Bala Abubakar, and his team on the Diamond Jubilee anniversary of the Nigerian Air Force and the successful hosting of the Third African Air Force Forum. Invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, our dear nation and indeed countries around the globe are currently undergoing turbulent times with regard to security. In Nigeria, the Air Force has made significant contribution to the joint effort in countering terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, and several other criminal activities that threaten our corporate existence. I am therefore pleased to state that a lot has been achieved in the internal security operation in the country, where the excesses of criminal elements are being curtailed. The sophistication of those threats and the rapidity with which they evolve and transcend international frontiers underscored the need for the Nigerian Air Force to collaborate with other air forces and industry players for optimum effects.
Earlier in his address, the Chief of the Air Staff, while welcoming dignitaries and participants, spoke on the essence of the conference.
It is indeed heartwarming to see the colorful diversity of comrades at arms and partners from across the globe together in a friendly atmosphere of cooperation and mutual respect. Your presence here is proof that the profession of arms is a bridge builder across the strategic and geopolitical boundaries. It is widely acknowledged that sub-Saharan Africa faces a multitude of security challenges, including violent extremism, terrorism, and insurgency. In addressing these threats, air power has emerged as a means of choice due to its unique characteristics of speed, lethality, and ubiquity. Therefore, this gathering of air chiefs could not have come at a better time than now, when the yearning for collaboration towards peace and stability on the continent is at its peak. Additionally, the all-important issue of partnership in aerospace innovation to sustain our air power capabilities to protect and advance our defense and security interests will form the crux of our discussions in the 3rd African Air Forces Forum.
Air Marshal Abubakar thanked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his support to the Nigerian Air Force.
I'd like to especially appreciate the unflinching support of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, whose visionary leadership has inspired transformative advancements not only in Nigerian Air Force, but also in all aspects of our national development.
Elizabeth Thanko, reporting for Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
Welcome back. Yes, congratulations to all the airmen officers of the Nigerian Air Force and the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, for the worthy celebration that is taking place. Yes, we'll take you back to the Northeast, where we were hosted by the Theater Commander, Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai, Major General Wahid Shuaib, a great officer that is doing the nation great honor by making sure that criminals are taken off the country. Sit back as we bring you a report of our interaction with him, put together by Shuli Daniels.
Beyond vehicular crashes, which most times are caused by bad roads, the state of roads also affects security. Due to long years of terrorist activities and non-usage of most roads in the northeast region of Nigeria, the state of roads in the region were in very bad conditions, which affected troops' mobility. Leadership of Operation Hadinkai severally made representation to both federal and state government for assistance in the repair of some strategic roads. In some instances, the Nigerian Army Corps of Engineers carried out fixing of these roads, which aided troops' onslaught against terrorists. When Security Watch Africa visited Borno State recently, it was observed that one of those roads have been reconstructed. The Theater Commander, Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai, Major General Wahid Shuaib, spoke on Maiduguri-Bama Road.
One of the major problems you have in the theater is the issue of improvised explosive devices that the terrorists normally plant on main supply routes. Most of the main supply routes, those ones that are not tarred fully, it makes it easier for them to plant these IEDs, which are detrimental to commuters and even to troops movement as well. The tarring of the road, just like the one you saw from Maiduguri to Bama, have totally eliminated the incident of IEDs completely from that route, that portion of that route. So if in other areas that is done, like in the Dikwa, Logomani, Gambarungala corridor, the Maiduguri-Damboa corridor, and that Maiduguri-Munguno, once those ones are tarred, the threat to commuters plying those main supply routes will be totally eliminated.
He spoke further on collaboration with Borno State government.
Of course, the governor has been very, very helpful in providing assistance to the military. It has been something that he has done regularly. So he's providing full support to the military.
Speaking on the security situation in Northeast, Major General Shuaib said the relocation of some displaced persons to their ancestral homes is a confirmation that things are returning to normalcy, and added that the people are happy with the current situation.
I would say that the security situation in the Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai area of responsibility is very calm, and it has improved tremendously over the years. I would say that people are going about their normal activities. There is one or two terrorist activities here and there, but that does not change the fact that the security situation within the theater has improved tremendously. In our counterinsurgency operations, the return of people back to their ancestral homes from where they have been displaced is one of the metrics for measuring the success of those operations. And in each of these towns where people are being returned, we have troops there to ensure that they provide protections from them. And the state government has also made it mandatory for them to raise members of the civilian JTF from that particular community so that they have their own sons and daughters in the civilian joint task force. And that's why the military provide the outer cordon for them to ensure that they feel safe in those their communities. Yeah. So we've conducted intensive operations into enemy enclaves, and so these terrorist enclaves. It normally gives the opportunity to rescue women and children because we normally establish a point, a collection point for women and children during our operations. So once we get these women and children, what we do is to collect them, take them to a safe area whereby they will be profiled, checked, and provided new means of clothing and all that, and then hand over back to the state government. That's just the process. Profile, provide medical attention, and then hand them over to the state government. My deputy, the deputy theater commander, recently just handed over some of 44 of them that were rescued from the Tomboto Triangle to the state government. So there are others like that that we continue. And as our operations continue, we keep doing that and hand them over. But you know, the Chibok girls one is something that is always carry attention like that. Yeah. From that figure, we say that there are over 19,000 men, ex-fighters. For the children, they're about, for the women, they're over 33,000. And while for the children, they are about 56,000 and above. This has been a daily occurrence. So they surrender daily, and so the figure keep increasing. Most of these terrorists, especially the fighters among them, they surrender with their arms and ammunition and other combat enablers, showing that they are genuine in their surrendering aspect. They have been held in 3 different camps within the state, and we have not had any adverse security effect from them per se. There's 1 or 2 issues of discontent here and there, which is normal when you have so many people in one place. But issue of breaching security have not been really reported per se.
The theater commander acknowledged the inspirational and quality leadership of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, and the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja.
The Chief of Defense Staff, of course, provides strategic directions to the theater. The Chief of Army Staff also provides strategic direction to the theater on how things should be done. And in terms of resources, all combat enablers, logistic supplies are all provided by the Chief of Army Staff to ensure that the operation is done properly, and also to ensure that force protection, which is paramount in line with the vision of the Chief of Army Staff, which is to train, equip the forces for us to conduct operations successfully in a joint environment. So training, equipping, and motivating the troops, those are the command philosophy of the Chief of Army Staff, and he does that. So most of the combat enablers we use that have been instrumental to the success in the theater are provided by the Chief of Army Staff and the Chief of Defense Staff as well.
Shirley Daniels, Security Watch Africa.
Welcome back. Yes, in fact, from Borno State and Maiduguri precisely, we'll bring you that that interaction with the theater commander, theater commander of Operation Hiding Kai. We'll bring you another exciting edition of this program next week. But I think we have our security tips. If we have time to bring it to you, let's get the security tips before we launch another live broadcast. Yeah, we'll go now straight to River State, where the commissioning ceremony of the dualized Omoku Egbema Road is taking place. Straight to River State.